These women and children are being led to their deaths. The soldiers accuse them of belonging to the jihadist group Boko Haram. In the final scene of this video, too graphic to show here, they are blindfolded, forced to the ground, and shot at close range 22 times. One of the women still has the baby strapped to her back. The video began to circulate on July 10, 2018. Some claimed that this atrocity took place in Mali. But others said it was filmed in the far north of Cameroon, where government soldiers have been fighting Boko Haram since 2014. The government of Cameroon initially dismissed the video as fake news. A month later, they announced that 7 members of the military were under investigation. But there has still been no official admission that these killings were carried out on Cameroonian soil by government soldiers, and there is still no guarantee that anyone will be held to account. So how can we tell what really happened here? Over the next few minutes, we're going to follow these women and children on the short walk to the end of their lives, and to glean from this video the clues that tell us where this happened, when it happened, and who is responsible for this atrocity. This looks like the kind of dusty, anonymous track that could be anywhere in the Sahel. But the first 40 seconds of the film capture a mountain range with a distinctive profile. We spent hours trying to match this range to the topography of northern Cameroon. And then, in late July, we received a tip-off from a Cameroonian source. Have you looked at the area near Zelevet? Close to the town of Zelevet, we found a match for the ridgeline. It places the scene on a dirt road just outside a village called Krawamafa. A few hundred meters away is the border with Nigeria. The video also reveals other details that can be matched precisely to what we see on the satellite imagery. This track, these buildings, and these trees. Putting all this evidence together, we can say with certainty that the killings took place here. Less than a kilometer away, in Zelevet, we found this compound and identified it as a combat outpost used by the Cameroonian military in their fight against Boko Haram. We'll come back to this base later. Exactly when the killings took place is, at first sight, harder to say, but again, the video contains clues. This building is visible on satellite imagery, but only until February 2016. The murders must have happened before that date. Satellite images also capture this structure. The walls surrounding it are present in imagery dated March 2015, but had not yet been built in November 2014, giving us an earliest possible date for the atrocity. The video also reveals this footpath, a path that only appears in the hot, dry season between January and April. There are other, less obvious clues in the video. As they lead these women away, the soldiers, like moving sundials, cast shadows on the track. A simple mathematical formula tells us the angle of the sun in comparison to the horizon. We can also see what direction the light is coming from. When we add this data to our location, we can get a precise time frame for this event. The killings happened between March 20th and April 5th, 2015. We now know where this happened, and we know when it happened. But who are the men who murdered these women and children? In July, Issa Chiroma Bakari, Cameroon's Minister of Communication, insisted that the killers are not Cameroonian soldiers and presented what he claimed was irrefutable evidence from the video itself. The weapons, he said, are not those used by the Cameroonian army in this area of operation. But our analysis shows that one of these guns is a Serbian-made Zastava M21. It's rare in sub-Saharan Africa, but it is used by some divisions of the Cameroonian military. Bakari also claimed that a close examination of the video shows the soldiers wearing colorful forest-style camouflage. In the far north, he said, Cameroonian soldiers wear pale, desert-style fatigues. A closer look at the evidence reveals this. Cameroonian soldiers, seen here in a 2015 report by Channel 4 News, filmed in Zelefet, wearing darker, forest-style fatigues, similar to those seen in the video. On Facebook, we also found these pictures of other Cameroonian soldiers wearing the same type of camouflage. The images are tagged to Zelefet. Bakari also questioned why the soldiers are not wearing the standard combat gear of troops stationed in that area: heavy helmets, bulletproof vests, and rangers' boots. The answer is that the soldiers were not out on patrol. They were just a few hundred meters away from the combat outpost we saw earlier. We know that this is a military base because we matched the features visible in satellite imagery to the details in the Channel 4 News report that was shot here in 2015. In August this year, an Amnesty International investigator spoke with residents of Zelefet who had been displaced by the fighting to a nearby town. Among them was a man who said that he saw these women and children being brought into the base by Cameroonian soldiers. A short while after they were led away, he said he heard gunfire. In August, there was a sudden change in the government's position. After weeks of denying that these killings took place in Cameroon, Bakari announced that 7 members of the Cameroonian military had been arrested and were under investigation. Our analysis has identified 3 men who actually pulled the trigger. One of them is this man, introduced at the start of the film as Chocho.
Voilà le caporal chef, Chocho.
We found a Facebook profile that links the nickname Chocho to a soldier called Syriac Bitiala. A Syriac Bitiala is among the detainees named by the government. The BBC has also spoken with a former Cameroonian soldier who confirmed that this is Chocho Syriac Bitiala. At the end of the film, we see him again, blindfolding the little girl he's about to kill. A few seconds later, he draws his weapon and opens fire. Our analysis identified 2 other guns that were used in the killing. One of them was in the hands of this man. We see him here blindfolding the woman with the baby, seconds before the shooting starts. Our military source identified him as Barnabas Gonoso. Although we were not able to confirm this identification, a very similar name, Barnabas Donosu, appeared 11 days later on the government's list of soldiers who are now under investigation. The third weapon used in the killing is the Zastava M21 we saw earlier. It is in the hands of a man introduced in the video as Second Class Cobra. So who is Cobra? As the women and children are killed, Cobra is the last man still firing into the bodies. One of his colleagues calls out, "Tsanga, leave it, they're dead." When he still does not stop shooting, they call out again, "That's enough, Tsanga, that's enough." The name Tsanga also appears on the list of men under investigation, suggesting that Cobra is a nickname for Lance Corporal Tsanga. Another man named among those arrested is Etienne Fabassou. He is the platoon commander who was interviewed by Channel 4 News in 2015. As far as we can tell, he does not appear in the video. We put these findings to the government of Cameroon, who responded.
7 soldiers were arrested, disarmed. They are under investigation right now. I can confirm that all the 7 of them are in prison.
The government statement on the arrests makes clear that all these men enjoy the presumption of innocence until the investigation has been concluded, and that all of them will be given a fair trial. No due process was extended to the 2 women killed outside Zelevet, and no presumption of innocence was afforded to the children who died with them.